Thank you for that reminder.
Okay.
Yes, so I have put the recording on. Okay, so I was saying that we have put these infix, prefix, and postfix expressions here because that's the other way that the stack data structure is used to do the conversion between infix, prefix, and postfix expressions. And these are arithmetic calculations, and in a short while I'll explain how what each of these how each of these looks like, the expressions themselves. But these are arithmetic expressions, and they are based on the concept of operators. When you have various operators, in this case arithmetic operators, multiplication, addition, subtraction, and division especially. So those operations, the way you work on them, it's an expression. And especially when you have several of the operators within the same expression, then that is where this concept comes in. But for today, we'll not be focusing so much on how the computer does the conversion. Although that there is a document that if it is not, and it's likely not to be there, I'm going to post it. There is a document that I'm going to be using on looking at this particular area, and you'll see a bit of that. It is described how the computer uses the stack to do the conversion. But for now, what we'll do, we'll do the manual one, how to convert these expressions manually using what we call fully parenthesized expressions. Fully parenthesized expressions. And of course, we're hoping that we'll also briefly look at the Q data structure, and also we do an introduction on the tree data structure. So we start by looking at the infix, prefix, and postfix expressions. So let me mount the document we'll be using for that discussion. So it will help us. I don't have to write too much, although I will still come back to the whiteboard. But let's start from the document. So I'm trying to see if I have that document with me. Right. Okay, for some reason, I think I have not opened it. So let me open that document and then have it shared. Okay, so let me mount the document discussing about the infix, prefix, and postfix expressions. So for this discussion, we'll only discuss how to do the conversion manually using what we're calling fully parenthesized expressions. So the document is displaying already, and so we'll look at some of the issues that are raised in this document. Of course, again, we'll not look at every text in the document. I'm going to just look at the main, the part that have areas that we want to look at together, and then you'll have the chance to look at the document in more details later. So for now, we look at infix, prefix, and postfix expressions. And as I said, these are actually arithmetic expressions like this one, which is described here, something like that. So it says consider another infix example. Of course, There should be another one above there. But anyway, what is important is what I wanted is to explain. So the infix. So the infix expression are those expressions which are written in such a way that the operator is between the operand. So when it comes to computer, we talk about operators and operands. So let me just write here again. I'm just borrowing some space here. Okay, so sorry, I think I should have borrowed in the middle somewhere. So let me take this one back. And just use the space just around this expression here. So I'm saying that when it comes to the computer, there are operators and operands. And operators, of course, are many, but they include arithmetic operators. I'm sure you know about many other operators that are there that we use, especially if you are doing programming or writing source code. You write many other operators, but some of these are the arithmetic operators, the addition, subtraction, multiplication, etc. But we have other operators that we use. For example, if you want to write in C programming, if you want to write something at the printf function, there are certain operators that one uses there. And when you write a statement in the source code, and then you put a comma, that's a kind of an operator. It tells, a semicolon, it tells the program something. So we have several operators, but especially those that operate on the input, the ones which you are looking at here. So when it comes to the arithmetic operators, so this is just an example. It's not all the operators. This is just an example of operators. Then we have operators normally operate on operands. So whatever the operator operates on is called the operand. So we have operands. So this is what operator. So we may be forced to just repeat that word, what operator operates on. Or you can say what the operator modifies or something like that. But anyway, I think this is just for the sake of explanation. We can deal with the English later. So what the operator operates on is called an operand. And so we have the operator and the operands. Now, if you write an arithmetic expression, just like the statement was saying, is that if you write the arithmetic expression, the way we normally write it, when the ordinary way of writing an expression, I think I'm losing my space. What did I do? Okay, so when the normal way of writing arithmetic expressions, those expressions are in the infix format. The ordinary way that we write arithmetic expressions, then we have what we are calling an infix. So for example, if you say 2 plus 3, so you find that the operator, the addition, is between the two values that are going to be operated on by this addition symbol. So what is going to happen is that you get the 2 and then you add it to 3. So the plus is simply to tell you what you need to do. So what should you do to the 2 and to the 3? And so when we write like that, the plus is the operator, 2 and 3 are the operands. So when we write an expression this way, then this is a an infix expression. Of course, it could be longer. You could actually have remember in the mathematics, it's popular to talk about something called polymers. It's very popular when we are learning about dealing with expressions that have several operators. So we can even add some operators here. So suppose we add multiplication. Of course, this is not written correctly in a programming, but just the ordinary way of writing expressions. So 2 plus 3 times 6. Maybe you might even put the division. Normally, you have to do a different way. So let me avoid the division and put the minus. So minus 7, for example, something like that. So especially when you have a mix of operators, then this becomes very important to be very keen how we are doing it. So we can do that, and get the value, but that is now like an expression. That expression is a case in which the operator is put. By the time you are doing when you are working this expression to get the result, you'll be considering the operands as if, the operator as if it is between the two operands. So it is operating on two operands, and the two operands that it is operating on are, the operator is between those two operands. The operator is between. Actually the word between is between. The operator is between the operands. So like 2 plus 3. But how do you deal with the whole of it? So you find that what you do is to add 2 to 3, and whatever you get becomes the operator that will now be multiplied by 6. And when you are done with that, then you are going to whatever the result you get, then you subtract 7. Of course, this one is not a very good case. Let's see. So 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 times 6 is going to be 30 minus 7, 20. But then we need to consider something else before we do it that way. The operators have what we call precedence. They have a precedent levels. Precedence. They have a precedence, some kind of a precedence, which we say which operator takes priority. So in our previous arithmetic, using the concept of a board mass, the board mass was used to guide us as to which operator we should do first. So for example, at a case like this one where the 3 would first of all be multiplied by 6, or first of all added to 2, we need to decide now what should be done first. For the 3, what should we do first with it? Should we first multiply by 6, or should we first add to 2? And so there is the concept of precedence. Operators have a precedence, and so when they occur together, you have to know which one has a higher precedence than another. And some operators have the same precedence level. They are at the same precedence level, and so in that case, there is a way we handle situations where operators have the same or at the same precedence level. If the operators are the same precedence level, then you have the advice or the standard is that you do you deal with them. You run them starting from left to right. So you start from left to right and you do them one by one, those ones which have the same precedence level. So that's the right way to do them. If they are of the same precedence level, then you do them one by one, starting from left and continuing to the right until you are done with all those operators and their operands. But if they are mixed up with some which have a higher precedence, then the ones which have a higher precedence are given priority, and that's where you should start. And so, remembering our BODMAS, so we're saying here, BODMAS describes precedence. Although there is a problem with the BODMAS, which I'm going to highlight, BODMAS tries to help us to know the precedence of operators, arithmetic operators, and we used to say that the way the word is written provides the precedence, and that is brackets first, then the off. There is an operator called OF, and there is a division, and there is multiplication, there is addition, and there is subtraction. So it simply says that start with anywhere where there is a bracket, then go to anywhere where there is an off, the off OF. Go then from there, go to where there is a division. From there, then continue to do now wherever there is a multiplication, and then finally do the addition and then subtraction. But actually, for addition and subtraction, there is normally a problem, because addition and subtraction are actually at the same level, and they create a problem sometimes. Now, the same with the division and multiplication. Actually, division and multiplication are at the same level. But the good with the division and multiplication, it does not create a problem, regardless of whether you do it according to BODMAS, or you do it following the fact that actually you can start, because they are at the same precedence level. Although, as I said, the standard is, if you have two operators which are at the same precedence level, then the standard is that you work on those operators from left to right. And so that's the best thing to do, the addition and subtraction. If you want to avoid getting a value incorrectly when it comes to addition and subtraction, simply do your operators from left to right. Okay, so that's the arithmetic. So when you write an expression where the operators are supposed to be in between their operands, then that expression is an infix expression. But we have these two other expressions, right, where we write the operators. We don't put them at the in between the operands. So let's start by a simple example. For example, if we were to write something like, let's say it's addition B plus C. So in this case, we want to add B to C, and we write the addition symbol in between. So that is now infix. But if we write in a postfix, now let's start with the prefix. So the prefix form of these is, prefix says that you write the operator at the front of the operand. And so the plus will be here like that. Bring the operator in front of its operands. So that is the same expression like the one which is there, the B plus C. But now, so this is the infix. and this is prefix. So if you bring the operand, in front, we write the operator in front of its operands. So when we write plus BC and we are told this is a prefix expression, then what we'll do is to still do the addition. We add B to C. So this is an expression that has been written in the prefix format, where operator is written at the front of its operand. So operator is at the front of its operand. And of course, so the other one is a postfix, where you write the operand, the operator behind its operands. Or we can use the word left and right. So prefix operator is to the left of its operands, and postfix, the operator is at the right of its operand. So that is now postfix. So postfix, okay, the infix is just the way that we write arithmetic expressions. So that is infix. Then we have these two formats. The prefix is when you write the operator to the left of its operands, and postfix is when you write the operator to the right of its operands. So you can either use a left, right, or front and behind to explain the difference between the various formats: infix, prefix, postfix. All right, so let's get to real cases now and see. So how can we do the conversions manually? So the computer uses the stack, but for this description, we are not going to use a stack. We just we are saying there is a manual way of doing it, and that's what we want to look at now. So how can you manually convert expressions from one format to the other formats? And that's what I'm calling using convert, infix, prefix, and postfix. Using the method method code fully parenthesizing fully now I'm going to explain this, but although I think it's not a new word to us, fully parenthesized expressions fully parenthesized expressions. And this is actually borrowed from the concept of the brackets. So sometimes the arithmetic expressions have brackets as well. Remember, even when we are talking about Bodmans, we talk about the sections of the expression that have brackets, and actually they do take a precedence. Brackets take precedence. How comes I seem to have lost my space? Okay, I think we are back there. Let's bring this one up. All right. So we do use sorry, I think doing something that is creating a challenge for me here. Anyway, so when you write, sometimes we do have expressions where we have brackets, and the brackets have a precedence. The precedence, according to Bodmer's, brackets have the highest precedence in an expression. So if you have an expression like what I'm going to do now, first of all, let's observe this expression again. So 2 plus 3 times 7 minus, 2 plus 3 times 6 minus 7. So that's one way of writing it. But and of course, if you keep it like this, and then we follow Bodmer's, then Bodmer says that we should start as far as there is a plus, the multiplication, there is a minus. The one which has the highest precedence is a multiplication. But as I said earlier on, plus and minus have the same precedence level. They are, so none of them is really has a priority over the other one actually. But we have also said that the standard is that if operators are at the same precedence, do them from left to right. So in this case, therefore, we should start at the multiplication. We need to first of all do 3 times 6 rather than 2 plus 3. We should start by 3 times 6. If we do 3 times 6, that gives us 18. 18 plus 2 is 20. And then 20 minus 7 is 13. So, of course, you notice that's a different value than from what we did earlier on. If you said do left to right and you say do 2 plus 3 first, which gives you a 5. 5 times 6 gives you 30. 30 minus 7. You find that it's a different value. So correctly, you use the precedence levels for each operator. So start at the multiplication, you get 3 times 6 is 18. 18 then plus 2 is 20. 20 minus 7 will be 13. That should be the correct value. Now, the brackets can change where we should start. So notice that there we have started by doing 3 times 6. But if we put some brackets somewhere, so which I'm going to do right now, suppose I introduce the brackets at the 6. So you have brackets 6 minus 7 brackets. So you've noticed that once I put brackets there, then I change the way I should work out this expression. For this one, I had to start at 3 times 6. Now notice that between the two, this one should remain, the times remain, sorry. That was what I intended, is that the plus should still be there. The times. So it's the same expression, both of them. But now for the second expression, I've added brackets. And once I do that, so this one we had to start at the multiplication, but as soon as we put the brackets, now it says that we have to start where there is a bracket. And so now we start by doing 6 minus 7. Here we started by 3 times 6, but here we will have to start with 6 minus 7, because the 6 and minus 7 are surrounded by a bracket. And so brackets give it a higher precedence. Where there is a bracket, the brackets have a higher precedence than the multiplication and division, which should be following beyond the word. Of course, there is the other one, which is called the off, or the O. But anyway, so brackets do change they change the whole concept of where we should start doing our operations. And so they are very, very important. And they are important in this case because we are talking about fully parenthesizing. So when we say fully parenthesizing, is that we get the expression and we follow it step by step, and we surround each operator with its operand. We surround it with brackets. So once we are given an expression, whether it has brackets or not, our work is to identify the operator and its operands, and for each operator we surround it with brackets with its together with so the operator and its operands, we surround them with brackets. So how can we do that? So suppose we have, so let's try a different expression. Let's say that, so we will still first of all use numbers. I think we'll come back to, finally we'll also have to use just letters only. I don't know why it's I'm always losing my space here. All right. So suppose we have another expression. So again, numerical, we use just numbers for now. Although normally we just give expressions with letters to make it general. So suppose we just have a case and we have 2 minus 5 times, so times 8. And now for now, you allow me to use the slash, since I can't put the division with my computer here. So let's use the usual one, which is used in computer science to do division. So we have 8, and then we have, so let's say it's a division by divide by 4, and finally we have a plus. So let's have a plus, and do that plus maybe 6. So we need to move from left, right, identifying the operands and the operators and their operands. And for each operator and its operand, we have to surround it with the brackets. So the brackets are what sometimes you call brackets the parentheses. So brackets, another name for brackets, especially in computer science, it is popular to call brackets parentheses. Parentheses. Okay. So parentheses. So so the word parentheses is another word for brackets, and so when we say fully parenthesizing, is when that's a process that we need to do, recognize the operators with its operands and surround that with brackets. Maybe before we try this one, let's first of all go back to I think the first expression that we've been working with. I think it's a little simpler, and we try to see how can we identify, or how can we put brackets around our operators and operands here. And you notice that it is not essentially a very, very challenging thing to do. Now, when you're putting your brackets, you still need to identify the operators of higher precedence. So you still have to do that. So as you do your bracketing, identify the operators that have higher precedence, and of course show that those ones should be done first in that order. And so we need to put brackets here for 3 and 6, because this the multiplication has a higher precedence, and it would first of all do the operation of, or we need to do first of all the operation of multiplication here. So we surround 3 and 6 in brackets. Surround 3 and 6 in brackets. Then now, once you have the value of whatever 3 times 6 will be, now we still have 2 operators. There is a plus and there is a minus. And the plus and the minus are of the same precedence level. They have the same precedence level. None of them has priority over the other one. And when operators are at the same precedence level, then we have said the standard is do them from left to right. And therefore, we need to start with the plus here, because coming from left to right, we first of all meet the plus. Now, what happens is that with the plus, it is supposed to get the 2 and add it to whatever you get after multiplying 3 by 6. And therefore, the 2 operands of the plus. There is a left operand is 2. The right operand is whatever you get after multiplying 3 by 6. And so you are going to put the first bracket here for the plus. The bracket will be there, and the other one will be after behind the bracket next to the 6. So those will be the brackets for the plus. Remember, we are identifying the operators with its operands. Now, when we come to the minus, the operator here, what are the operands of the subtraction? The minus operator. The operands of the subtraction is to the left, to the right. Right is a 7, but to the left, it is all what you get after doing everything to the left of the minus. And so the whole of the part that is to the left of the minus is the operand, is the left operand of the minus operator. And so we'll put the bracket and then close those two. So the first bracket will be just in front of the bracket for near the 2. So we put a bracket there. The other bracket, of course, will be after the 7, because the 7 is the second operand for the minus. And so that now is what we are calling fully parenthesizing, that you have now enclosed in brackets every operator with its operands. You have now enclosed every operator with its operand. And when you have done that for all the operators, then that expression is said to be fully parenthesized. So this expression is fully parenthesized. And what that simply means is that you have put parentheses. Okay, you have put parentheses for every operator. Sorry, for every operator with its operand. So I don't think that is necessarily too confusing to do. So we just need to follow step by step, identify. Of course, you just focus at the operator and then try to understand its operands and put brackets. Operator with its operand. Operator with its operand. And once you are done with the whole, in all the operators, then that expression is said to be fully parenthesized. So for this particular session, what we want to learn is how to use a fully parenthesized expression to convert infix expressions to either postfix or prefix. But sometimes it can also be asked to also convert a postfix to prefix or prefix to postfix. But in most cases, you're likely to encounter cases where you are being told to convert an infix to either postfix or prefix. Okay, so of course we know what will happen with this one. If you started to do it one by one, you of course now with the brackets, it's very obvious where you should start. Okay, with the brackets guide you as to where you should start. And of course, in this case, you need to start here at 3 times 6. And once you are done with that, then you have this bracket here, which will now be 2 plus what you get after doing 3 times 6, which will be 18. And then also from there now, you have now done everything to the left of 7. I mean, to the left of the minus. You have done everything that is related to the numbers there. And so you'll be having a number here to the left of 11, to the left of the minus, which of course is going to be 20. So that is what is now existing here after you have done the operators to this side of the minus. So 20. And so now what you are left with is to do 20 minus 7. And that way you have completed doing that calculation. Of course, you get the value and you write it down, and that will be 13. Okay, so that's just trying to clarify the concept. So how can we actually go ahead and now convert? Convert infix to prefix, or convert infix to postfix. Okay, so the postfix. So in many situations, you can be asked to convert an infix to a prefix, or an infix or postfix. And you can, of course, use this method. Of course, there is the other method that I said we will not be discussing. So most likely, most of the time we'll be dealing with this type of expressions where you are expected to use the concept of fully parenthesized expressions in order to do the conversion. So let's now use the general numbers. We just use letters now, and we can borrow some of the examples from our document, so which I'm also using as my board. So it's going to be tricky now locating my the content in my document. So suppose we first of all try this kind of a simple one, A plus B times C. So the star, of course, represents the times. I'm sure we are clear with that. So A plus B times C. So let's use our space again here. So B, A, sorry, plus B times C. No, it's yes, times C. So if we are to convert this expression to, let's say, start by doing a prefix. We want it to be prefix. So we have to do the fully parenthesizing, put brackets around every operator and its operants. Every operator and its operand. But remember, you still need to, first of all, consider the already existing order of preference of the operators. And so you have to put your brackets still considering the precedence of each operator. So in that case, we will start by doing the bracketing at where the multiplication is, because between multiplication and addition, multiplication has a higher precedence. So we need to enclose B and C first. Okay, so enclose the B and C. And then now there is still the operator of the addition. So the operator of the addition now has one of the operand is A, and the other operand is the whole of what you get after doing B times C. So you put a bracket, the left bracket just next to A, and the other bracket will put it at B times C. So you put it behind B times C. And I think we are done we have only two operators, and so we are done doing the parenthesizing. And so now, once you do the parenthesizing, so how do you do it? How do you now convert this one to prefix? So we want to convert these infix to prefix. In the prefix, the operand is written in front or to the left of its operans. The operator is written to the left of the operans. But notice that you do that one by one. So you do it one by one. And when you write, when you do the conversion, you are supposed to remove the brackets as you identify the right positions for the operators. Then you are supposed to, once you deal with one operator, you remove its brackets, and the next operator you remove its brackets. So if you have to start from left to right, or we can, again, you still need to consider the precedence levels. And of course, B by C is where we should start here. And what we do now, since we have fully parenthesized our expression, when we want to do it a prefix, where we bring the operator to the left of its operans, all we need to do is to identify the brackets for that operator. The brackets for that operator, and we move the operator to the left of its left bracket. Move the operator to the just outside the left bracket for that operator, and so we bring the times. Okay, so now we can write the operands as they are. Now the operands do not change. The way it is written ABC, they will still remain ABC even after the operation has been done. I'm trying to separate them a bit so that we have space to put our operators if they are there, if they need to be in between some of the letters. All right, so the operators remain ABC. The order does not change. So now, if we are supposed to start with where there is a times here, and we remove the times and put it to the left of its two operands, the B and the C, put it to the left of B and C. And so the star symbol for multiplication comes there just in front B. And then now we once we are done with the multiplication, then we are going to the plus. So the plus is here right now, and when you move it to be in front of its operands, and its operand is A, and what you get from B, from doing the addition by B. So in that case, we move the plus to the front of its operands, and it will come to the left bracket here, outside the left bracket, and so that's where our plus will be. Sorry, I think I'm pressing the wrong bracket there. So the plus comes at the front of A, because it will go to the front of, to the left, or just outside the left bracket, because we are moving our operators to the left of the operands. And so the way now it has, because we are done with all the operators, then this becomes the prefix form of our expression, the example expression that we are looking at right now. So this is of course, the way it was written, A plus B times C, that was the fix. And then in prefix, this is a prefix format for that expression. All right, so what we are therefore saying is that it is a simple process. Once you have done the fully parenthesizing of your expression, then if it is prefix, move the operators to the left bracket of their operands. Move the operator just outside the left bracket of the operands for that particular operator. So what about changing to postfix? So we're still starting with an infix, and then change it to a postfix. Okay, so the process is the same. This time, we want to move the operator to the right of its operands. we want to move the operator to the right of its operands. So we still going to use this expression. All right. So when it is like this, fully parenthesized, so we then move the operators to the left and to the right of its operands. And so, so we're going to use this one. So let me maybe do a copy and paste here and get this data at the lower part. Let's say have it here instead. Okay, so we want to now convert our infix to postfix. So we always start by doing the fully parenthesizing. And once we are sure that we have done the fully parenthesizing, then we start removing the brackets. I mean, you remove, you just move. So if it's a postfix, we are moving the operators towards the right. And so we'll be, what we need is to identify the right, the right bracket for that particular operator. So in that case, therefore, again, if we start the B plus C here, so again, we can first of all write the operands first. It will be easier for us to see clearly what is there. So we get we want to start with the multiplication operator. So we need to move this one just outside the right bracket here. Move it just right bracket just around here. So that will be the right position for the multiplication of the star. And then we go now, so we are now done with the B plus C there. Then now we have the plus, so it is A plus whatever values we are able to obtain here. All right, so we get so we are doing now the operator plus. So we need to identify which is the right bracket for operator plus. Its right bracket is the one which is here completely to the extreme. Okay, so that's the right bracket for the operator plus, and so we are going to move the plus just outside this particular bracket. So when you do that, the plus comes after C. And that way now, it is now the postfix format for our expression that we are using for this discussion. Now we can, of course, this one, as I had put them so highly separated, just to make it easier to do the demonstration, but it should not be so much separated. They should, of course, be looking on the ordinary way we write our whatever in this case, these particular expressions. So, and that is how we do the conversion from infix, prefix, or from infix to postfix, using this approach called by fully parenthesizing the infix expression. But remember, you cannot be asked to do the conversion from infix, from prefix to postfix, or the other way around, from postfix to prefix. In most cases, when you are doing that, if you are not using a stack and you are just using this approach, fully parenthesizing, then normally what you do is to convert from prefix to postfix. The easier way is to first of all convert your postfix prefix to infix, and then infix to postfix, and the other way around, whichever is being given to be converted to the other. Okay, so I think that's that discussion, I think, is sufficient for that, but maybe we can try one more example, just one more example. so that we are sure that we are clear with that concept. Infix to postfix, infix to prefix. Okay, so let me just again choose just another example. That is, of course, these examples are many of them here. We have this document has quite a number of examples. So let's just choose the one from here again. So suppose we choose which one? Now we can also do. Sorry. So a number of examples are given here. So suppose we try. Yes.
Back to your last example that you've just explained.
Yes.
Can you go back a bit?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Let me go back to the space there. Sorry, I'm using our main document to use it as my board as well, to avoid having to keep on leaving from this screen to another one. Okay, so let's go back there. So here we are. Yes.
Okay. So if you look at conversion of infix to postfix.
Yes. Infix to postfix.
Yes.
Yes.
Kindly look at the where we have multiplication B times C.
Yes. B times C.
I'm seeing that nothing has changed there because we are still seeing B times C there. Does that multiplication
yes, you see the operators remain, isn't it? The operators remain in the expression.
Sorry?
Oh yes, sorry. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Sorry, I did not see what you mean. I think I did not do it, move it correctly. Thank you for that observation.
Okay.
I don't know. I must have said it very well. So B and the operator should come after C. Sorry, yes, because first of all the operator, its brackets. So the other bracket is after C. So these stars should have come after C. Sorry, I don't know how I missed that. So it should come after the bracket, after its right bracket. The right bracket for the star.
Yes.
It should come after the right bracket. As far as the star is concerned. Yes. Thank you for that observation. That was very wrong. Yes.
Okay. Another question.
The right way. Yes.
Once you've converted a fully parenthesized expression,
yes,
can you again parenthesize the answer that you've got?
You cannot parenthesize the postfix and the prefix.
You cannot.
You cannot because in this case you normally use fully parenthesizing. Fully parenthesizing, you use it when you have infix. The infix is the one you do the fully parenthesizing.
Okay.
Yes.
Now the final question.
Yes.
I want us to use the example that you began with.
Yes.
It was 2
Which was
plus
that one? Or the one of the numbers?
Figures.
Okay, let's go to numbers. I think I lost the original. I must have, I'm working on them. Sometimes I'm changing. So, but we can write that one. It's already, part of it is here. So we can make it. So let's make it one. Yeah, you can keep it as it is. But yes, ask you a question first.
So that expression, the answer that you get,
Yes.
Can you also say that that answer is an operand?
The answer.
Yeah, the answer. Like now we got 13 as the answer. Is 13 an operand?
Now, that is now 13 is the final result. You see, operators and the numbers is that you are given an expression to do and find the result, isn't it? You
Yeah.
are given an expression and then told what is the value of you have now worked on this expression, what is the answer? So 13 is simply the answer.
So you
You
can't call
see,
it an operand.
so you can't call it an operand in that case because you don't have an operator.
Okay.
If you don't have an operator, then you cannot talk about operand because
Okay.
something is needed to be an operand because you have an operator.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
So that is simply the result of working out the expression. It is the result. In that case, it's what you say computer-wise, you would call it the output. So all your numbers are your input, and then they are operated on by the operators, and then you get the output.
Okay, noted.
All right. Okay, so any other question from someone else, or still we can have our brother also asking again. So any other question related to that, the process? Okay, so we said let's just look at one more example, and probably that will be sufficient. In fact, by the look of things, I don't want us to take long today. So it means probably doing this conversion will be all that we'll do today. And then we can look at the queue and the tree in our next session. But again, I want to remind us we have missed quite a number of sessions because of the weeks that were taken by the exams. So we need to do some makeups just to catch up with the syllabus. We're getting very close to the end of the semester, so that we are not caught up with some areas that are not mentioned, at least even if briefly in class. We need to at least get some makeup. So probably next week we'll discuss and see if we can plan for some makeups for the following week. So let's do one more, or look at one more expression and see, try to follow the process again of the conversion. So let's have so there are some quite a number of examples are given down here. All right. So not a very, don't want to try a very complex one for now. But, I was considering, suppose we tried this one, which is like that, and this is maybe that one is probably a bit simple. So let's try this one. I'm trying to couple it so we take it to the space where we are trying to use for as our board at this time. So somewhere just, oh no, we don't have to go very up there. I will not be save this document, so it will remain the way it was before. So let me just put some space just down here, just very close to where these. So we want to borrow some space. So this is our expression. So it's using to, let me do that. Need to do this one differently. Let me go by the scrolling. Don't know why it is not allowing me to get some space here. Yeah, so I want to have this expression here. All right, so this is our expression now. And what we want, it's all pluses. So it's not a very, very challenging type of an expression. So the most important issue is to see how do we go about this, parenthesizing this expression and finally convert it to either in postfix or prefix. And so in this case, for this one, since all of them are pluses, so there is no, the precedence is all the operators are the same. So every operator, they all are the same level because after all, they are the same. So in that case, the standard is that you do your expression from left to right. If we are to add, we would first of all do A plus B. What we get to do, that result plus C, and then what we get, we do that result plus D. So we do the same in this case. So when you are putting your brackets, you still have to think about the precedence levels of the operators that are in the expression. So since this time all of them are just the same, we do left to right. And so we first of all come to the first plus. So the first plus, its operands are A and B. So we put brackets at A and at B. Then the next addition, its operands are what you get after adding A to B and C. So the C is the second operand for this plus operator. And so we put brackets around the whole of this part. So the left bracket will be just around the A. And sometimes my computer is not putting the symbols. So okay, now I have it. Okay, and C. So it's around it that way. The operator with its operands. The operator with its operands is surrounded with the brackets. So when we come to this other one, the plus, the other plus here. So its left operand is everything to its left after you have done all the operations here. Whatever you get as the result becomes the left operand for this plus. And the right operand, of course, is the D. So when you enclose the operator with its operands. And so, of course, the left operand will be just to the front of the very left bracket, and then around the D. And now that one, we are done with enclosing each operator with its operands. We have now surrounded each operator with its operand using the brackets. And now we can start now doing our conversion. So if you want to start by prefix, so prefix is where you put the operator to the front or to the left of its the operator to the left of its operands. Put operator to the left of its operands. So of course it's also still good to observe the better pattern. So you need to still kind of ask yourself, now when it's like this, which part is the best one to start with? And of course, you always start with the inner. If there are brackets, whatever is the bracket that is in what you can call the innermost, so you start there. But I don't think it would be any problem if you start just anywhere. But it is easier when you start by the bracket that is in the kind of enclosed, completed by everything else. So the best place to start is at the A plus B. And so when you have the A plus B and you move its operator, the operator will come just next to the left of A, bracket to the next of A. Essentially, you can say just replace the left bracket with the symbol of the operator, and of course also remove the other bracket which was meant for that. Essentially, kind of move the operator to the left bracket and remove those brackets for that operator. And so again, you can actually first of all write the operands, because the operands remain in the same order. Okay, see. The operands remain the same order, and then we can start putting the brackets. So for this operator, it goes to the left of A. It comes here. Left of A. This operator is for the operands are what you get after doing A plus B and C. So it will go. So it's left bracket is one which is after the one next to A. So it is the second bracket, in the left side here. So it moves this bracket and the one at C. So it goes to just left of this plus. You go to the left of the other plus that we have already put. And then when you do now the last plus, so the left plus is the left is everything that you've done with all these other values. So it's left. The left bracket for this plus is an external bracket here at the front. And of course, the right bracket is the one which is behind the D. So this plus will come to this bracket, and then you remove the brackets. And so it will come to the front of our left existing plus. So it will go there. And so that will give us that's the way these will convert to the prefix. So now I can adjust my values. Of course, don't have to adjust, but again, if you are leaving the gaps, make sure that the gap is not too big, but you may need to leave it sufficient to make sure that you are, if an operator is supposed to come in between the operands somewhere, as you do the conversion, that you have the space to put it, so it is clear as a final result of the conversion. So converting that expression to the prefix, then it will look like that. So originally it was A plus B, sorry. Okay, so converting that infix to prefix. So first of all, do the fully parenthesizing. Parenthesizing. So the fully parenthesized, then the prefix is that one, and postfix. Of course, we can also do the postfix. It's not true. Now, of course, when the expression is very big, you have to be very, very careful as you move your operators. Like this one, I realized it looks simple, but in terms of conversion, it can create a confusion. You have to be very, very keen as to where your operators will go. Okay, so I think I'll let you try the postfix as an exercise. So I'll leave it for you to just try that at your own time. How can you do the postfix for conversion in the case that we have here. And remember, as I said, this document is our notes, and so these examples I'm using are in the notes, so you should be able to try. Of course, they don't show step by step. They only give this infix should become this one, postfix should become this one prefix. So that, of course, in that case is something that may not be very clear, but at least you are in the class and we have tried to discuss this. So just try to follow what we have done. And of course, these notes, as I said, right now, as I was reminded, we do the recording. So you have you'll be able to access this from the video later on if you need. But so at least for the steps you can get from the video. So with that, I think we'll end our session for today there. We'll avoid going to the queue and the tree. We'll look at that next week. And as I said, next week, let's also try to see if we can get some makeup. We plan for some makeups. So we are able to catch up with the time. So any other question before we close?
Yes, there is a question in the chat box.
Oh, there is a, sorry, okay, yeah. Yes, Thomas, sorry, even Thomas had said he was not hearing clearly. So Thomas, I can't see you now, so I think we lost Thomas. But anyway, Jelimo is asking something, saying, what if the left, the parent was a minus, and to the right is a plus? So do we still start from the minus considering the body mass? That's a good question. Yes, so Jelimo will say that some operators are of the same precedence level. Yes, and maybe I can just try to bring an issue there. It's now that you're asking about minus and the plus, because sometimes if you follow body mass, there can be a problem because the body mass, there are things that body mass does not say. So body mass does not help us to remember that some operators have the same precedence. Now we always have taken it that we should follow these body mass the way it is written, that each letter describes the precedence over the other operators. But actually, the division and multiplication are same level. D and M are same precedence. Okay, and what that means is that none have a priority over the other precedence. This should be a single E, precedence. All right, the division and multiplication are same level, so it does not matter whether you start by multiplying or you start by dividing, the result will still be the same. So the same case happens with addition, but addition is a bit tricky. It's trickier. Addition and subtraction, they are more trickier than, although they are the same precedence level. They are a bit tricky because you notice, for example, unless of course you have to be very keen. Of course, I'm not saying that you cannot be able to handle them, but you have to be very keen. Because, for example, suppose you did a 2 minus 4, and then you do plus, let's say 7. Okay. So if you do that, I think it's a more tricky if you start. Let's start with a plus. No, I think the way to put it is better. I think so. You notice that if you assume that addition should be done before subtraction, there will be a problem here, because if you do it that, you'll have a 2 minus 11, which is not correct. All right. 2 minus, so you start, if you say, okay, addition before subtraction. So I do 4 plus 7 first. This answer will be wrong. I mean, when you complete your calculation, this will give you wrong answer. And so there's something that BODMAS does not explain properly, and that is left to us to know how to actually deal with that correctly. So the correct way is to look at 4 as a minus number, a negative number. If you look at 4 as a negative number, then you have it correct. So that you say, first of all, negative 4 plus 7, which actually gives you a 3. So you'll be having, but then you notice then you'll be forced to do something more here. You have to convert the minus operation to an addition operation. So finally, you will now say 2 plus 3 rather than 2 minus 8. It's not going to be 2 minus 8, it will be 2 plus 3. So there is a lot of things that, so it's only somebody who is very keen that can get it right at that point. So as Jelimo is asking, so suppose we had a minus here. Okay, is that the question? Suppose we have what if to the left the parent was a minus and to the right is a plus? So okay, we just change. We just change the one is here. So if you put the minus there, so we just again just open this one and put it slightly just up here for the sake of discussion. So suppose our expression is now a minus here. Well, in this case, not too much a trouble, Jelimo, because it's only an issue of doing what we are calling fully parenthesizing. But again, that issue about precedence, what we had said is that if some operators are at the same level of precedence, the standard way of handling them is to do left to right. So even this expression, if you did it left to right, you'll have no problem. Okay? Move left to right. So do minus 2. First of all, do 2 minus 4. That will be negative 2. Then negative 2 plus 7. And of course, you get it right. It will be 5. So the standard, once you realize that some operators are at the same precedence level, then do them left to right, one by one, until you conclude. Now, for multiplication, no problem. It does not matter where you start. You don't have, so again, these ones are at same precedence level. Of course, BODMAS seems to suggest to us that you must start with division, but no, it's not really necessary. Division and multiplication are the same precedence level, and you see the good thing with them is that they are affected by the having minuses, because you have a negative 7 and multiply by 2, and divide by what? Now let's do numbers which can, so suppose we say 9, let's have a 9. I want a case where you can have several different numbers. If you say -9 times 2, divide. Now this one I have to use the slash because my computer cannot put the division symbol. Divide by 3. Okay. So it does not matter whether you start at the multiplication or at the division, you should get the answer correct. But maybe, but anyway, let's leave it at that because of time. So, but if you do this, so suppose you started with the 2 divided by 3. Now, the only problem is that it will be a fraction. It will be to that. So it doesn't really make any difference. That's why I'm saying I wish I was able to get a number that would just do the division exactly. So this would be a fraction 2/3. Then multiply by -9. Of course, finally, it will now be a whole number. And so whether you start by doing the division or you start by doing the multiplication. So if you start by doing the multiplication, it will be -9 divided by 2. No, times 2. That will be -18. Then -18 divided by 3 will be -6. So it will not be affected, especially that issue of will it be a negative number, will it be a positive number? That is exactly where the problem is with the addition. The addition is affected by the minus, depending on how you are doing your operators. But with the division and multiplication, it does not matter. Whether you start by dividing or you start by multiplying, you should get your value correct. When it comes to addition, only you need to be very keen here to be careful. But the one you can never fail is if you do them left to right, one by one. And so I think with that, we don't have to go back to this expression. I think the main thing is just understanding the precedence issues. But this expression will just be looking the same because there is no, so precedence here, since subtraction and addition are same precedence level, do your bracketing left to right. Do your bracketing from left to right. So that's the standard way of handling operators at the same precedence level. Okay, so I hope that is clear also for Jelimo. So, well, students, I think that will be sufficient for today. So this document is already at the portal. Please get some more explanations from the look at it and see some examples that are there. As I said, unfortunately, most of the they only put a value, they don't show step by step. But now you'll be having this video, which you can use to help you understand the steps, and then you try. So the case is like try to do the parameterizing and see whether you can get the answers that are given in the document. Then so don't forget also to look at the discussion forum. Unfortunately, this discussion forum is based on the queue, and we have not done the queue. So I think that is a problem. So I'll have to change that. So and since it is not changed, so you cannot do it right now, but you can also visit and see the question there. It is actually based on the queue, which we have not done. But so see what you can do there. So I will not remove it, but I will add. So I will just add another discussion there, discussion 2 within the same forum, but a discussion 2 that has something related to what we have been looking at. So otherwise, for today, thank you so much for attending the session. So let me remove the share here. Okay, so thank you so much for attending the session. I wish you the very best in the remaining part of the day, the afternoon and the evening as well for this day. So enjoy the rest of the time. So from me, I say goodbye Thank you so much.